Godzilla has remained the king of the monsters ever since its inception in 1954, where it terrorized the cities of Japan and reflected the horrors of the nuclear bomb. He has faced countless monsters throughout the years, ranging from the alien cyborg Gigan to the eighth wonder of the world, Kong. He's remained the top dog when it comes to kaiju movies, but did you know in the 60s, another monster attempted to come along and swoop the title from under Godzilla's feet? That monster is Gorgo. Released in 1961, Gorgo was Great Britain's answer to the King of the Monsters. Directed by Eugene Laurie, the same French filmmaker that directed the classic monster movie that started off the kaiju genre, The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. And with our friends over at Titanic Creations releasing a new Gorgo figure, we thought there's no better time to cover this giant monster. If you'd like to pre-order the new figure, the link will be in the description. Give this video a like and let us know if you're a Gorgo fan. As for the giant monster itself, Gorgo is a 65-foot tall reptilian sea monster with dark green skin, glowing red eyes, and a pair of fins protruding from each side of its head. He has razor-sharp teeth for cutting through flesh, and massive hands that can deal great damage against dense structures. Named after the Gorgosaurus, a tyrannosaurid theropod dinosaur from the late Cretaceous period, an animal you might recognize from the Walking with Dinosaurs film. And Gorgo, the monster the title focuses on, is actually a baby. Yes, even though Gorgo towers over people, he's still an infant, which means its mother is much, much larger. But how much larger? Well, we'll dive into that after briefly going over the story. The plot of the film goes as such. A large volcanic eruption near the coast of Nara Island, an island off the coast of Ireland, released Gorgo from his sleep. He was soon discovered by humans and taken to London to be put on display at a circus. It was later discovered that despite his massive size, he was only a baby, and the people began to worry about how large an adult would be. Soon they would find out when Gorgo's mother, Ogra, came to London to look for her baby after leaving a path of destruction through Ireland and the west of England. Ogra stands at 342 feet tall and weighs approximately 8,110 tons. Even though the RAF, Navy and Army tried to defend the capital city, Ogra shrugged it off, destroying everything in her path. Once she discovered Gorgo, she rescued him by breaking one of the walls of his enclosure, and the two monsters went back to the ocean peacefully and swam away. It's fairly obvious from an initial reading that Gorgo takes inspiration from monster movies of the past like Gojira and, perhaps most notably, King Kong, as the humans captured a monster to put it on display for money, and it led to their imminent demise. It's interesting to see the director that helped influence Godzilla now taking elements from the very film he inspired. If Godzilla was a representation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the horrors of nuclear war, Gorgo was about the fall of an empire. Britain was seeing unprecedented levels of immigration, mainly as a result of its colonial past. Many people were met with hostility, the same way Gorgo and his mother were met upon arrival. So, in a way, the monster attacks was a form of payback. When the giant monster topples British iconography like Big Ben or Tower Bridge, it's directly reflecting the disassembly of the empire, as nations sought independence from the United Kingdom. Britain was still the second most powerful country in the world at the time, with the United States surpassing it only a decade or so earlier. Gorgo left quite an impression on those that viewed the film, having effects that rivaled, if not outmatched, Toho's own Godzilla. Remember, this is 1 year before King Kong vs. Godzilla. But could Gorgo and Ogra really stand a chance at rivaling with Godzilla? How do their powers compare? Ogra is the largest of the two. As a mother, she is instinctively programmed to defend her young, and she destroys an entire city to rescue him. In her mission, we see her sink cruisers and even throttle Big Ben. Yeah, we know it's the Elizabeth Tower, you don't need to comment that. Visually, she looks identical to Gorgo, but is much larger and much more ancient, reportedly being 2 million years old. She possesses great physical strength and armored skin, being able to resist large-scale assaults from cutting-edge military equipment, and can crush entire buildings effortlessly, leaving only rubble remaining. Being an amphibious sea monster, she has amazing underwater abilities, being able to swim at 70 miles an hour, faster than the fastest World War II battleship, Le Fantasque, which sliced through the ocean at 43 miles per hour. But unlike Godzilla, the monsters from Gorgo don't have any ranged abilities, which would put them at a severe disadvantage against the King of the Monsters. Although in the 1963 comic series, Gorgo grows up and gains powers that far surpass its mother, and even has the ability to spit fire from its mouth in a devastating flame blast. If we pit the two against each other, the winner is just a no-brainer. Godzilla is simply the most powerful monster, and whilst Ogra is also very powerful, able to bring an entire city to its knees, the King of the Monsters' atomic breath would be enough to burn through Gorgo's armored skin. Although the comic version would definitely hold its own against Godzilla and would be something I'd love to see, even though we know it's not going to happen. Gorgo went on to have little impact on pop culture, outside a few pop culture references like the comic book series and the fact Gene Simmons' monster boots are based off its head design. Although in our year of 2023, we finally have a new Gorgo figure, which is actually the first completely film-authentic sculpt produced. So we thought we'd spread the good word and introduce you residents to this giant monster that many of you might not have heard of. If you residents want to see us explore other giant monsters, then let us know which kaiju in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe and stomp the notification button to become a resident of Dangerville today. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.